Okay, they're back. It's their final mission. It's their final run out. Game 5 for the Thunderbellies. So Eirik's back to lead the charge. Frostlord Lannis. Tyrant with Fateseeker for the 3+ save. He's accompanied as ever by Slaughtermaster Gary, who's got Blood Feast spell. Cast on a 7+1 attack. Because the Thunderbellies and the artifact I've given to the Tyrant, it's the Shatterstone I think it's called, makes terrain within 12 inches deadly for the enemy. And he's got a command ability. Anybody wholly within 18 inches is +1 to charge. The rest of the army, there's a Huskard as well. He has the Keening Gale, which is +1 because of Thunderbellies, and he's also got Alvarg Ancient, so long as he didn't charge, units within 3 inches of him at the beginning of the combat phase strike last. And then aside from that, we've got a Gorger. We've got a unit of 3 Man-Eaters with run and charge, a unit of 12 Gluttons, 2 units of 3 Gluttons, and a unit of 6 Mournfang. All the Gluttons and Mournfang have got Iron Fists, so 6s to save do mortals back. And the Mournfang, if they're wholly within 12 inches of a battlefield edge at the start of the charge phase, they can charge. We'll have a quick look at the table. Ooh, table's got stuff on. We've got an overgrown wall, a volcanic building, a volcanic tower, a volcanic tower, a volcanic stone circle,
healing.
A healing building, nullification building, entangling, and more overgrown. And you can see there's an enemy. We'll go and have a look. So Shane's back. Say hello, Shane.
How's it going, guys? Good to be back finally.
Yeah, and I've even turned his mic on this time.
Yeah. Thanks, Stuart.
So what have we got then, Shane?
Coming from the far off town of Kirkwall to destroy this Tyrant, we have the Bloodgullet tribe with Ogre Tyrant and 2 Butcher's bands. So the Bloodgullet, nice drop of the red stuff is the command trait, which is if friendly units that start a pile-in move within 12 can move an extra 3 when they pile in. And the artifact that you have to give first, because it's Bloodgullet tribe, is a Splatter Cleaver. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. At the end of the combat phase, any wounds inflicted that aren't negated, you can heal D3 wounds to each Bloodgullet Ogre unit within 12, and you roll separately.
You've given that to the
Tyrant, yeah, because he's the general.
Yeah.
So each Butcher, the one in the red trousers, has Dracoline Heart artifact with the Flesh Crave Curse and Greasy Deluge spell.
Cool.
That's another point I should say. Because of the Bloodgullet, they can know an extra spell, the Butchers, from the lore of Gut Magic, and they can also attempt to cast an extra spell as well. And then we go to the Butcher in the orange. It has the Shrunken Priesthead, which improves his save, I believe, from memory, and he has Blood Feast and Rib Cracker spells.
Nice.
And of course we have the ever faithful Maul Pot.
So you'll start with 2 command points. I've got the 1 because I bought one. How many points were you?
I'm 1960.
So you'll also get a triumph.
Cha-ching.
Right, we'll have a quick look at the mission and then we'll get underway. Okay, so fittingly for the last game, we're going with the bespoke battle plan from the Ogre book. Challenge of rule. So no tyrant's rule lasts forever. Ogre society is brutal and unforgiving. For a tyrant to hold on to power, they must be ever willing to crush any and all of their rivals. Still, if a tribe falls on hard times, or if a tyrant begins to make unpopular decisions, dissonance will stir, an usurper will rise, and bloodshed will inevitably follow. So here you go, the upstart, there he is. He's coming to dethrone the Thunderbellies. So it's a bespoke one, it's a bit of a funny one. So the territories as such, we have our own territory. The pots have to be deployed as ever 12 away from the enemy, so we've got a bit of room on the flanks. But the whole thing about this is it's a grudge match. So basically, only the tyrants can attack each other, and the first tyrant to die loses. As different units are destroyed, points are gained, and the tyrants can spend them. So you can feast, do gut punch, grapple, or bellow. But we'll go through that as we're playing. But at the end of it, one tyrant will stand supreme. So what did your tyrant take, by the way, as his thing? Because I'm a Fate Seeker for the 3+.
He's also Fate Seeker.
There we go. Evenly matched. Okay, well, thank you very much, folks. And thank you very much to our international viewers, to the States, Germany and France for being our most watching internationals. Most appreciated.
Thanks, guys.
We're on IM Brew as opposed to beer because I've got a sore foot and I've had some painkillers. So
And I'm driving.
And you're driving. It's not sensible to consume beer.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
No,
It's a
don't
bad
drink
idea.
and drive or drink and take painkillers. So, but thank you very much to our patrons, our VIPs, well, to all of them, and to our YouTube members now. But we have Mark Roberts, our Tyrant today, Frostlord Eirik, Sean McKechnie, Karen Newby, Thomas Stott, Shane Kingston, Paul Daduka, the Bazooka, John Bayliss, Stephen Ramage, Andrew Stephen, our Slaughtermaster today, Gary Stephen, and Grant Fraser. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Right, we'll roll off realms, deployment, and all that business. We'll do deployment, and we'll be back. Well, we have deployment. The veteran is a little more reserved than the young upstart. So the way that this worked was the upstart first of all. Sorry, I have to try and press something on. There we go. The upstart first of all had to deploy his whole army. So he's done that. And then the veteran, he got to deploy his army. Move my dice out of the way. It's quite a tight deployment. The whole thing is that the tyrants are going to the middle to have a fight and decide who's best. Now my general is a canny soul, so he decided that he's not running right up in front of all those guns, even though only the tyrants can hit each other. He didn't want to be right in the middle, so he's just staying put. However, the young upstart has charged right to the centre and started calling him a coward and all sorts. And so because the usurper is closest to the centre of the battlefield, he gets to choose who's going first. So who is going to take first turn?
The upstart will take the first turn.
Okay, so you're going to go first.
I'll go first.
So you get to roll a triumph first of all.
Alright.
So
Nice. A 1.
So hits. You get to declare it before you roll your dice, and you can re-roll all hits for that unit.
Ooh,
that phase.
excellent. Excellent,
Right.
excellent.
We'll come back at the end of Hero Phase. It was a relatively swift hero phase, so all that went off was probably all that mattered. Blood Feast was cast on the Tyrant, so he's now +1 to all his melee attacks. My Tyrant's suddenly thinking maybe standing on the defensive wasn't the best thing he could do. And that's it really. Mystic Shield was attempted and failed. So yeah, Are you feeling confident?
In a way. In a way.
So we're going to go into movement, and then then we're going to see whether or not the upstart just takes control of the tribe in record time.
I wouldn't go that far yet. We'll see.
So they've advanced. The Tyrant's moved up to 3 away. The rest of his band have run. Nobody was in range to shoot, so they've tried to close down the ground. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So shooting. So the only thing that's in range to shoot is your Tyrant. So
Of course, he has pistols, doesn't he?
he does, yes. So he'll have 2 shots.
Excellent.
Hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. Now, but Blood Feast just gives +1 to attacks in the combat phase, I think, doesn't it? So you won't get extra shots.
Melee weapons, yes, just in the combat phase.
Okay.
2s, 4s, and 3s. 1 hit.
1 hits. And then 3s to wound, and it'll be rend 1. So saving on a 4+. Does not save. So D3 damage. Oh dear. 2. So yeah, he's got 6 left. It's not looking good. Okay, so that is shooting.
Yeah.
So there's one charge that really matters. That could end this game pretty fast. So
Yeah, do
you
it
need
live.
to 3.
Command points can reroll charges.
I
Can't they?
maybe I should have stayed further back. So yeah, he definitely gets it. So that's 8. So you go in, so that'll be 8 impact hits. So 8 dice, and every 6
Is a mortal.
is a mortal wound. So if you roll 6 6s, I'm dead, and it's game over.
Right. 6, 8.
The hesitancy could come back to bite us.
Come on, dice, don't let me down. 2.
2, so he's down to 4 wounds.
He's getting half his health already.
He's not even going to get to go. Go on then. So, any more charges, or is he just going to do it all himself?
Yeah, good question.
Actually, did they run? Actually, I think
Everything else, yeah, they
so,
ran.
he's just coming to do it on his own.
Yeah, Tyrant started.
We've been caught flat-footed, so you get an
Yes.
extra attack.
Yeah. But he's staying it with one of the terrain bases.
Aye. Well, I think you'll be within. Oh no, I think you're going to be within it, but I don't think it's going to go to to my hero phase.
So first we'll do this.
Now you've got a triumph as well for hits,
Which is
which you
reroll hits.
You could spend that now. Reroll hits.
Spend the triumph.
Yep.
Reroll
So
hits.
you're rerolling hits, and everything's got an extra attack.
Attack. So we'll start. Thunder Mace is 4 attacks. And 3s and 3s.
I'm going to spend a command point to reroll 1s to save, because I'm going to have to do something.
Yeesh. 3s again. 2 at 2 round.
So that'll be 5s, rerolling 1s.
So that is
Seems
6
dead, isn't it?
damage. Yes.
So there we go. The
Good night, Vienna. See you later, guys.
the end. So there you go. That was different. There we go. Undefeated. So there's a new ogre in town. I think we need to go and eat curry. It's going to take you longer to get them out than it did to play the game. Oh man, right, I'm going to stop this. Okay, so Bloodgullet. Bloodgullet is victorious. The Thunderbellies' reign had to come to an end, and it came against the ogres.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. Oh man, yeah. I I don't know what I was thinking. I was there in a position, so I was going to go first and decide who went first, and then I thought, oh yeah, but if I put myself right out at front, that's a bit daft. But then I put myself so far forward that you got the first move. Now, because I hadn't moved, because I had to choose to go first and move first, I'd obviously... You just moved... You ran straight forward, got within charge range, used your triumph, got your extra attack up, impact hits, just minced me. That was it. Done. Game. For those that want to see, because Shane hasn't played for ages and it's a new army, we did actually play on for 5 turns to see how the game would play out. We'll stick that for the YouTube members and for the Patreon people so that they can watch it and see what would have happened. Yeah. Had I not been so stupid, maybe. But how did you find Ogres?
Bit different to what I'm used to, but there's potential there to make them quite nasty, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you did get a bit of experience. It wasn't just that one attack.
No.
As I say. And I have to give a shout out to Eirik. Because we did actually play the 5th game last week, and we played Thunderbellies versus the new Legion of Night in the Soulblight Gravelords. But and I played them, and so Eirik played the Thunderbellies because he'd had to lose to him 4 times. And he absolutely smashed me with the Thunderbellies. But later that night, more of the rules were leaked, and the new Skeleton War scroll came out, and it would have been a totally different game had we used the new rules. So we decided not to put that up. So there'll be more on Soulblight in the next couple of weeks because I'm playing Spadge with Soulblight next week against his Slanesh, and then I'm doing an introductory game for Alex. So I think he wants to play Feck, and I'll probably do Soulblight there, just so that we can try a few different ones. But you're going to do your Ogres for Path to Glory.
Thinking so, yeah.
When AOS 3 comes. You were going to do Soulblight, but you decided against it in the end, didn't you?
No, I got the austerity of the book, and I'm still going to do them.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'm quite looking good. I don't think I'm going to get anything new just yet.
Yeah. Well, I say I'll do them. I'll check the book and see what I think.
I don't think I'm going to, because I've got my old Legions army. I don't think I'm going to get anything just yet. I don't know. I'm going to have to have a proper read of the book. It depends on the lore as well for me, not just the War Scrolls and the Allegiance abilities. So I want to see what's what.
What's doing.
Yeah. So
I still think you need to make a good go with the base Mortark.
well. Clearly you mean Manfred.
No.
Or Neff.
No. Keep going through them.
Yeah. No.
I think you need to make a good go with the Linder.
I am going to paint Linda. She's on my list. I've got a knight on 1,000-point army. If I paint a Linda, and that little Warcry warband. No, Underworld warband.
Right.
And then I've got 1,000 points, including battle line and everything. So I might do that just for a bit of fun. But I've got all them Bone Reapers over there that I'm painting. They've been sitting there for a while now. I've not done anything since, well, in the last 2 weeks. Now I know you can take the gash in Legions. The impetus to get that Bone Reaper stuff painted up has faded because I can use it. Yeah, I think in Path to Glory I'll use it.
That'll be good.
And that'll be just a way of slowly doing it rather than trying
What's
to...
everybody else using? The new armies?
Well, Eric's just going to randomly roll Mortal Khorne, just using his Khorne army. Spadge is using Mortal Slanesh, or Stormcast, I don't know if he's decided. Liam's doing Lumineth. I think Alex is doing Feck.
Okay. That'll be good to get Alex and Liam on
Mm. And then you do Ogres, and I do Bone Reapers. We'll do it that way. We'll probably just play one game a month.
Yeah.
And because they're pretty fast, we should be able to edit them into one sort of like episode and do it one a month. Well, that should be good. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to get people playing again. It's been tricky with the club up here being shut for over a year now, isn't it? Last time you must have played Sigmar was when you brought your Zinch over.
Yeah. When you didn't record
The audio.
No, I think that was the last game each summer. That was well over a year ago. A year and a half. However long ago the pandemic was.
Well, I think it was one of the first things we recorded, so it would have been last summer, about August. So it's not quite a year.
Feels like it.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So we'll get you and the ogres on again. It's good to see something else. But yeah, we were talking about combining the two butchers bands to make one uber band with a unit of 8 iron guts, a unit of 12 gluttons, and then keep the 2 4s and the butcher, and that's one. And then there's some points to play with in terms of you paying for one less battalion, and then you can choose whether or not you want.
You'd fill them out even more in theory.
Yeah, you could put more stuff in. You could try and get that unit. What's the maximum size for iron guts?
Also this 8.
Oh, right.
8 probably.
Okay.
12 for Gibson.
That one. That'd be good fun to play with, I think, if we get playing with them. It take a bit of getting used to in terms of what I've found. The spells and the abilities can be quite restrictive in terms of you have to be wholly within, and they're quite big models and big units. It's hard to keep wholly within 12, and you didn't use your Bloodgullet drop of the red stuff command ability, but we didn't really use any command abilities because our Tyrants walked off.
Yeah,
like,
really
mine
to be
died.
fair.
Yours, mine got carried off to be eaten. But yeah, that had to give you reroll wounds.
What you get on a big unit would be.
Oh, it's really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. So, you got to see how it played out. Go over and have a look. Yeah, but it was pretty close. There weren't many models left at the end of 5 turns, were
I
there?
think I'm glad 5 turns was up when 5 turns was up anyway.
Well,
So
that
it's getting
priority was going to be there would only have been 1 army left. But anyway, there were only 7 models on the table at the end of turn
If
5.
I'd taken it, it would have been a waste of a turn because I wasn't in range to do most of what was left.
No.
Was shooting. So.
Yeah, you had to give that priority away. Yeah, there you go. That's that. Short, sweet, as ever. Take care.